on, Evie. Oh, hi, and welcome to Quiet on the Set. I'm your host, Phil Biedron. We're coming to you live from the Unscripted Studio. So without further ado, let's launch into what's happening in the world today. Actually, what's happening in the world today that I can easily make fun of. So, what's up? Pokemon Go has taken the world by storm. It is amazing. It's crashing servers all over the place. Kim Kardashian, move over, okay? We're not interested in your butt. It's all about Pikachu. In fact, over 62% of Android users have this app on their phone, and they're using it on a daily basis. This has skyrocketed. The stock price of Nintendo has gone up 70%. Not only that, I mean, it's insane, right? This has surpassed Tinder, and it's catching up on Twitter. Can you believe that? I've been on the wrong app this entire time. I'm trying to catch women, and it's, Veronica, I choose you. Man, gotta release them, you know what I'm talking about? So, Pokemon's crazy. One thing it does, even though it is a game, is it's getting people out of their house. They're actually walking outdoors and being antisocial in groups. People are meeting. People are dating because they're trading, and they're, people are like, hey, psst, found a Charmander over here, you know what I'm saying? So, but what's happening with Pokemon is another phenomenon is that criminals are getting into it as well. And what they're doing is they're luring people into spots to finding Pokemon. They go there down on their phone, and then bam, instead of a Magmar, they get a Magnum straight to the face. Look, you can take all my money, but please not my Charizard. Please. So, also, do you guys hear this story? There was like this little girl, and she found like a dead body. Yeah, she was looking for a Pokemon, and she found an extreme Snorlax. I don't know. Oh, boom. I just made that up on the spot. Anyway, so Pokemon is interesting. If you see groups of people with their heads down, they're most likely playing the game. I just downloaded the app. Does anyone play it? Who's playing Pokemon? Yeah. Got a lot of support. Team Valor? Is that what we're going with? Team Valor? We should settle like things with some Pokemon, battles like this. Maybe like this political debate. Just throw Pokemon out there, let it happen. Create some havoc at the RNC. Maybe just throw some Pokeballs, a couple rarities in there. Speaking about politics, there's an interesting story. This happened in South Korea. So the Prime Minister of South Korea is putting this missile launch site in this little village in the south of South Korea. And the peasants, oh, that's awful. Did I just call them peasants? I think they're still technically peasants. The townspeople that live there, the plebeians, the pleasants, whatever they're called. I'm like completely siding with the Prime Minister now. They obviously don't want this missile launch site here, so they actually started a missile launch of their own, and they started pelting their own Prime Minister with eggs, which is insane. Isn't that insane? I mean, I guess they were really egging him on. I can count on Robert to laugh for me. I mean, they really laid into this guy. It was like a frat house on Halloween, just eggs all over him. It was incredible, because obviously they don't want it there, and the Prime Minister was fighting against them. They barricaded him for 6 hours. They wouldn't let the own Prime Minister leave, and he's got egg all over him, literally egg on his face. It's pretty embarrassing. I mean, it really is. My last joke about that was, so 13 of the local leaders in this, what I call it, a peasant village, right? In order to protest, they went on a hunger strike to show the Prime Minister what's what. I think they just ran out of eggs to eat because they threw them at the Prime Minister, so who knows. If you guys are paying attention to what's happening in the box office, GhostBusters came out, right? GhostBusters, woo! It cannot secure that number one spot. Everyone thought it was a shoo-in, right? To have the number one spot, it's a popular brand. But The Secret Life of Pets, actually, for the second week, beat out Ghostbusters. Just goes to prove that not even ghosts can phase through that glass ceiling. Boom! So we're going to get into Ghostbusters a little bit later, but before that, I got to talk about another movie controversy that is not Ghostbusters. So you guys know who Lena Dunham is, right? Yeah. Girls, right? Boo! Did I hear boo? Or I'm not on Ghost anymore. Get it? Boo. Anyway, she's protesting the fact that in the Jayson Bourne billboards that he's holding a gun. She thinks that there shouldn't be any guns in these billboards for Jayson Bourne, which is insane. It's like Jayson Bourne without a gun is just a dude running around asking questions. Nothing's really working there. Lena, what do you want him to hold? Like some flowers, Pokeball, Ben Affleck's career? Come on, we know who wrote Good Will Hunting. We know. So I don't think she has any room to talk. Lena, if you want Jason Bourne to stop holding guns, hey, put some clothes on in your show, because that's a little much, right? Right? What? No one's with me on that one? Okay, so Comic-Con is coming up this week. Comic-Con is coming up. We're going to address that a little bit later. But first, we're actually going to have a review and a little bit of insight about the movie Ghostbusters. And I'm going to have Robert, we're going to have Kevin, we're going to have Garen on the show. But before that, I'd like to show you a little sketch.
Ted!
Yes, sir.
I'm Robert Reaver, executive producer of Quiet on the Set. Things have been going so well for us that we decided to hire an intern. Can you take a message?
I don't have anything to write with.
Get us to Garen in the writer's room.
Yes, sir. Right away. Hi, I'm the new intern, Ted. I'm going to film school, and I'm here on an internship program. I'm kind of here just for the easy A. Mr. Eber isn't going to see this, right? Right?
Out of all the people that applied, we thought he was the best qualified for the position. Unfortunately, he was the only one that applied for the position.
Oh my god! Please don't kill me!
No. Hey, relax out.
Stupid mask.
Lights. Hi. You must be Ted. Garen, nice to meet you.
Hey. What's going on?
A pitch meeting. Yeah. Oh, writers. Ted, writers.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, guys.
Yeah, I should have knocked there.
Yeah, sorry. I got a note here for you.
What?
Here you go.
Oh, Robert's asking me what in and out.
Oh,
You guys know
yeah,
about it?
definitely.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, tell him we'll be there in like 20 minutes, let's say.
Yeah, I'll go let him know.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, hey, Ted.
Yeah.
Just want to say,
Like not really a sequel.
No, yeah.
And I thought that was kind of weird, but no, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
It's awesome.
I do agree with the chemistry between them was pretty good. It was much better than I was expecting. What did you think of it, Garen?
I like going off what Robert said too. Like, I was shocked and surprised because everything I heard about it for the last couple of weeks was just how like terrible it was, and people were just raging on the internet, being the internet. And I was genuinely surprised. It was actually pretty okay and good. Like,
Okay, let me step in real quick. So
Yes.
are any of those feelings ungrounded? People saying, "Oh, it is horrible," or because I've heard mixed responses.
there are as much as there are flaws, as much as there are things that were supposed to be flaws that people were complaining about weren't actually flaws. There are some like storytelling flaws, some editing things, like an.
See, but the things you
Really?
say that, and earlier, was it this year, last year, we had Jurassic World come out.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that movie had, if not the same, but more problems story-wise. And the thing is, it just ate off of everyone's nostalgia. And this one does the exact same thing. And the thing is, it does it in a tasteful way. Like, all the cameos that are in this film,
great,
you're sitting there, and then a character just turns around, and you're
Yeah.
you're like, oh my
They
goodness!
get
Are they
pretty
ghosts?
much,
Or-
no, they get pretty much the original cast back.
No spoilers! Jeez.
I mean, people know.
People
Like,
know.
They do, but the thing is, I knew Aykroyd and Murray were definitely in this because of the trailers, but the fact that it had so many other people too, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's probably even more that we didn't even notice because
Yeah.
Garen pointed out something to me right in the beginning of the film because they did pay a lot of homage to Harold Ramis, who was one of the original writers and directors. Nostalgia worked because the story and the characters themselves. If you took all the nostalgia out, I think it still would have worked.
Yeah.
Oh.
The nostalgia was a really nice cherry on top.
Okay.
To where normally it would have maybe been a normal person playing that role. The fact that you had someone that you knew from the older version playing it was like, wow, okay.
Because you see, that's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go first.
I was thinking that a lot of the ire to, well, there's a lot of other reasons why there was ire for the film by people who I think didn't like they were not founded, but the main one was the nostalgia. It was that they don't like to some people don't like to see nostalgia in remakes because
it kind of
Which to me it didn't do that. I agree with Robert that it was very tasty. There's some things where I was like, okay, like
a little bit forced, like not to spoil, but Stay Puft makes an appearance, not in the way you think, but it's like. That's a little bit too much, but at the same time, it was kind of fun. It was weird.
But it did it intentionally, and you could tell like why those certain things were there for certain reasons. The main flaws that I thought were in the movie were some of the jokes just fell flat with any comedy. Like some things are funny, some things aren't. But there were moments where I felt like the cast was way better than the script.
I mean, the people they got playing it, because like Leslie Jones, I wasn't a huge fan of her going into this film, especially for like SNL and stuff like that. And I was like, she's loud, and sometimes I'm like, I get it, that's her shtick. But her in this film, amazing.
Great.
She's amazing. I was like, holy,
really good.
Now I'm a Leslie Jones fan now. Like, especially,
Wow.
Going into that, and also I'm forgetting the other one, not the Kate McKinnon. She was
so funny.
Oh, her personality and character was perfect.
She was a highlight. She was my highlight of the film.
Absolutely.
Really? Okay. I want to address something about the writing itself. Like I haven't seen the movie, right? But I've been looking at a couple reviews, and a lot of the reviews like my 12-year-old son loved this movie. My aunt loved this movie, and I was like, were the jokes skewed to a certain demographic of younger or older? So it's like, these are like my grandma's jokes.
You'd say that, but the thing is, they have moments in there where they spew a bunch of science jargon, like they did in the original one.
Yeah.
Where the science person of the group starts spewing stuff, and you're like, I have no idea what they're saying, but you just go along with it, and I mean, there's one curse word because it's a PG-13, and again, it is a PG-13 film, and it's meant for families, but it gets really dark and heavy at times too, which I mean, I mean, what do you guys think?
I think that when I talk about the script and what the thing was with that is that the funniest jokes and the funniest moments in the film were moments that you could at least feel that there was a lot of improvisation in it. Because the cast is funny. They're all funny.
And they've worked together before.
So that chemistry is there. So that's what I felt like. I felt like all the jokes that were written into the script were not as funny as all the jokes and banter that was just, I think, naturally them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if anybody else did it, it just wouldn't be a funny film. If they had a different cast, I think that it would have fallen flat.
I'm not 100% sure, but I agree with you. The cast added so much to it.
Yeah, they lifted it. They lifted the script to good heights. That I would say if there was a flaw in there, I just think it was not so. The script wasn't fleshed out as much. There was some editing that you could tell some scenes were cut out because of the awkwardness and the transitions.
Not only that, but also they added some scenes, I think, to kind of strike back at some of the YouTube.
It felt like a lot of the movie was like that. Like you kind of take the whole underlying plot of the movie as being like they don't like the Ghostbusters, but they're wrong,
right?
Kind of thing.
Which was a kind of a concurrent theme throughout the film.
That was the whole theme of the film.
So without spoiling it. So really quickly, I think we should say if we should recommend it or not.
I guess the $1 million question is, would you recommend people to go out and see this film?
Not for $1 million.
Well, obviously.
I guess I did some of something. Is it worth the price of admission?
It is worth the price of a ticket.
Yes.
Okay.
Not $1 million.
I would say so too. Yeah, it's really worth it. It's good to, especially just to go watch it, and really you could watch it as somebody who's never seen the Ghostbusters, or you could watch it
and you won't be lost.
You'll be lost, and you get to enjoy it. It's a really fun movie to go watch, especially if you're going with your kids or on a date. Like it seems like and it's like PG-13. It's you could take almost anybody, and it's pretty.
Just and really quickly, for me, it's I go see it, and I saw this cool meme, which was basically showing two people, and it was a little girl in a Ghostbusters costume and an older man in a Ghostbusters costume, and it's like, this film isn't for the older man, it's for the younger girl coming out. And then, again, before Ghostbusters purely male and stuff like that, now we're seeing, especially female Ghostbusters in a male-dominated Hollywood. I think it's great for them, and it's definitely a go-see.
Yeah.
Definitely, for me, it's a go-see.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Pro tip, there is a after-credits scene. So and then they put a lot of work into their credits too.
Yeah,
so slowly animated all the way
through.
Stay
the whole way.
It's like 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Stay the full 2 hours. All right, so we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, I'm gonna talk with Jayson, and we're gonna talk about surviving Comic-Con. Welcome back. Next to me is Jayson, and we're going to talk about surviving Comic-Con. Comic-Con, if you don't know, huge event. It's been around since 1970. Takes place in San Diego. Draws everyone from the comic book, science fiction, all those sorts of worlds. So, Jayson, I believe it starts this Wednesday? Or?
It starts on Wednesday. Wednesday night is what's known as preview night, and that's for people to come early. It's not very long. I think it lasts about 4 hours, and it's just for people to see the show floor and kind of get in ahead of the 150,000 other people that are going to show up over the course of the week.
It's 150,000.
It's massive.
Yeah, so, and then it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is the last day.
Sunday's about a 2/3 of a day.
Okay,
yeah,
so
most things are done by about 4.
Okay, and in case you were wondering, Jayson has been going to Comic-Con for the past 7 years.
It's been a while,
and the shirt you're wearing.
The shirt I'm wearing, it's a volunteer shirt. I volunteer every year, even if I manage to get passes that I paid for.
Wow.
I like to volunteer. It puts me into a kind of a... They don't do this anymore, but previously they would do a kind of a priority registration for volunteers. Plus, you get a free shirt, and it's nice to help out, and sometimes you get to meet people. It's giving back.
Okay, so let's address what you have on the table, because we're talking about surviving Comic-Con.
Yes, we are.
Huge crowds, long lines.
Oh, God, yeah.
A lot of stuff going on, a lot of sun. So tell me about a little bit what you have here to help you sort of...
What we have here is an assortment, a portion of an assortment of things that I've kind of gleaned informationally from people as I've been going. Because, of course, the first year I went, I barely had a pass. I didn't have a bag. I just showed up.
Just a poor boy with
a spark in his eye and a dream in his heart. And I was so overwhelmed. I was just completely, my mind was blown. And I got sunburned my first year. So one of the earliest things that I picked up was a hat. And
not just any hat.
Not just any hat. I like this hat because I have a bag that I bring with me into the show, and I don't want this giant, thing. I want something lightweight. I want something mesh, and I want something first of all that I can fold very easily and stick into a bag. I could even keep going. I mean, I'm being lazy with it right now, but you could stuff this at the bottom of a bag if you're going to be indoors all day. It's very lightweight. It also it's a bit of a sound cone, which is kind of weird if you're talking to anybody because you can really hear yourself, and that's kind of strange. Other sun protection related things, sunscreen, chapstick, just in general, because you're going to be spending a lot of time outside.
San Diego.
Whether you're in lines or you're doing off-site stuff or whatever, you're going to be outdoors, and if you're smart about it, you're going to wear short sleeves, which, yes, you stay cooler, but you could get, so you want to be safe. To that effect, another thing that I got very early on was a fan. I used to do one of those little portable spritzer fans.
Hey, there are a lot of fans at Comic-Con.
But this one in particular is by a brand called O2 Cool, and I bought it specifically because it's actually a necklace. And so it's battery operated, and you could just tie it to your neck. If you're feeling real hot, you can keep it up here like an absolute frickin' tourist. But I like to hang it down here, and it's battery operated. And intakes air from the front, blows it right up into your face.
Oh, wow, it's going... Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's very quiet. I actually have had these batteries in it for about 2 years, and it still works very well.
I should wear this when I eat spicy food.
That might be helpful.
Like, I'm very white. Like, it really is tough for me.
And since it pulls all of its air in from the front, if you've got a cold drink, or if you just pull, if you've got ice water or something, hold it in front, you're going to chill the air that's intake. It's kind of like water cooling a PC.
That's actually a pretty good idea. All right,
it's not bad. Then also, long lines mean a lot of standing, and especially if you're waiting in a line through several hours, because sometimes you line up very early for something that you really want to see. Standing is not comfortable, and it hurts the knees.
I know this is like a crazy question, but what would be like an average wait time to get into...
That's such a heavy question.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if there's something that I want to do in Hall H is the biggest hall at Comic-Con, and it's the biggest room that they do shows in. It holds about 6,500 people. If you want to see something at 4 o'clock, you need to try to get in by 2 so that you can secure a seat, because people they stay in there, they camp all day. There's bathrooms, there's some snacks, there's water fountains. Wow. You could show up in the morning and never leave. But if you're waiting in line, if you don't want to camp out all night, it means you're going to be waiting in line during the day, and there's nowhere to sit. And so one very useful thing that I brought is a portable stool.
Don't tell me that's...
It is a stool. It can hold 250 pounds. It was about, I think, $25 at Sports Chalet. I apologize if that was very loud with the clicking of metal. And, you just sit on that bad boy. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world. It's honestly like a bike seat. It kind of numbs certain areas for certain people. But it's collapsible. So if the line starts moving suddenly, you're not sitting... Because the first year I tried to bring one of those big camping chairs, like loungers, and the line moved right past me. And I'm like, oh, wait, I have to scratch... Yeah. Never going to work. You get a portable stool.
This supports your weight?
It supports my weight. I'm getting heavier, but I'm not heavy enough to break this bad boy. So it's the important thing is that it's so portable and that you could take it, and if the line starts moving, you scoop that thing up. You got this thing attached to your bag. It's got like a little mountaineering clip on it.
Nice.
You know, so you never have to worry about it. Okay, is that what
Carabiner?
Carabiner. It's got a D clip on it. So that's very useful. And then the other thing in this world of social media and selfies and pictures of celebrities and Pokemon Go, which is going to be freaking huge this year.
By the way, just a side note, so Pokemon Go was supposed to be just like a small exhibit hall, but...
Oh, it was going to be, I think, in room, what did they say, 32A, which is one of their tiny, like, 45-person rooms.
Damn.
And this was, because it's a meeting with the developers.
Yeah.
So it was originally, I think, going to be very techy. And then this was announced before the app was released. Then the app was released, and it's obviously currently a worldwide phenomenon. Right. And so they've upgraded it from one of the smallest rooms to the absolute largest room.
Which you mentioned before was
Hall H. I could promise you it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, 6,500?
6,500 people.
Yeah.
It's give or take, I think it might be 6,496 or something like
sure.
that. So
Can it hold a mall? I'm so sorry.
He's on fire over here.
He's that fan.
Yeah, you can hide your shame and embarrassment.
Yeah,
look a little red.
Yeah, I do.
So one of the things that I found that was a real problem, especially for me and everybody that works on the show and some of my friends that are watching at home know that my phone is an absolute piece of crap. And it dies constantly. So what I got very early on was a lipstick battery. This is a little USB-powered battery for $20. And they actually have stations at Comic-Con at the San Diego Convention Center, presumably for other exhibits as well. It's very lightweight. And you could, essentially it's like $5 and you get one, and then later when you're done you just pop it back in, it recharges, you get another one, you got it all day. So you got portable power.
Nice.
This was not enough for me because this thing lasts maybe a charge and a half. So then we bring out the big guns.
Is this the same?
It's the same, it's just this one is, I got it for free at a concert, and Toyota was giving them away.
Cool.
Hashtag not sponsored. And so then we bring out the big guns. This one would charge my phone.
Is it a power bank?
This is a power bank. It's 16,000 milliamp hours, which is enough to power, I believe, Robert's phone 4 times consistently. I will charge this before I leave, and this will last me the whole show.
Whoa.
Seriously. Because I charge my phone regularly at night, I burn through the phone in half a day, and then recharge it once.
Wow.
And so essentially I'm getting, I think, 5 or 6 charges out of it.
And it's got 2 USB ports.
Yes, so if you've got multiple things, if you really want to go ham on the power.
If you're going with a friend, you could both have your phones charged.
The only downside about something like this is because it's so big, it takes a long time to actually charge the battery. So this is one of those things that you get that ready before the show, and if it runs out, what are you going to do? You burn through a lot of power. And so if you're really prolific, you could have 2 of them, but that's just too excessive.
Hey, how about this? Crazy idea just occurred to me. What if you take this and you power little ones like that?
Have you ever seen a jet fighter try to refuel in midair?
I can't say that I have, Jayson.
It's about like that. Yeah, it's like charging your cell phone with your laptop. So that's about all.
All right.
I got some other stuff. Always drink a lot of water, wear comfortable shoes, stuff like that, But these are the basics. If you're going and you expect to be there and you're going to be waiting in a lot of lines, if your goal is to see big stuff, that's the thing. Some people go to the smaller events, and for that you don't need to worry as much because it's really easy to walk into a small panel. Not to be down on the small panels, but sometimes people just don't care about them as much because everybody's there to see the Game of Thrones or something. Yeah. I've had some very fulfilling experiences in small panels.
It's like the guy at the bar. They're all hitting on the 10, but there's a perfectly good 8 over there.
That's true.
Or
a 2, as it were, for some of these rooms. For some of these rooms, anyway.
Small panel girl, you know what I'm saying?
Small panel girl.
It's happy hour, I'll buy you a drink, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
I'm remembering some other events that we've worked at the San Diego Convention Center. Anyway, so
that's a pretty inside joke that will never be explained. Yeah. Anyway,
we have a lot of fun here on Quiet on the Set.
Before I send you off, any lasting tips? Any hacks you can think of?
Oh, here's a great one. The thing that anybody that ever wants to go to Comic-Con, the only thing they ever pay attention to in the first few years is what's on the schedule, what's on the programming guide, what's at the convention center.
Sure.
And this is important because it's the bulk of the show, but it's not the only part of the show because essentially all of downtown San Diego becomes Comic-Con. Yeah. Every business on, Front Street? No, it's not Front Street. First Street? I don't know the streets. There's one that's right in front of the convention center, and it's
trolley comes through.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's right there, and the whole area. They block off the streets, no traffic. Everybody's walking, costumes everywhere. All the businesses get transformed. Walking Dead always takes over a bar, and they have zombies hanging out the window. There's tons of stuff going on outside of the convention center. And my little life hack for you is if you've got $40 or however much it takes to buy a ticket to the train and you leave early enough, you can take a train to San Diego, hop off, do all the free stuff, and then go home. And you've still experienced a good portion of Comic-Con.
Ah,
And there's a lot
okay.
of free stuff outside. You know, they've got Nintendo is there at the Marriott Lounge, and they do demos of all their games, and they show off all the amiibos that are there. And their entire crew is pretty girls, and they tell you how great you are at games, even if you're freaking terrible. It doesn't matter. They're
Sure.
doing their job. They're booth babes. They also have an Xbox Lounge, which is largely the same thing, except there's a lot more bearded dudes doing arguably the same thing. The free swag everywhere: T-shirts, buttons, pens, postcards. It's kind of like Vegas, except the cards have costume characters on them and not strippers.
Yes, okay.
So
Cool,
you can
cool.
select them all.
Well, have a great time.
I will.
Thanks for the advice.
I'll be back in 2 weeks to tell how great it was.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll follow up with Jayson after that. So we're going to take a short break. After that, I'm going to have an interview with Emmy-nominated stunt coordinator Eddie Perez.
Eddie Perez is here?
He is. Back next to me is Eddie Perez. Eddie Perez is a stunt coordinator, and he's also Emmy nominated. Not just that, you're the first Latino to be nominated for an Emmy. Nominated.
Yeah, that one.
I should have a vocal double. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the other one.
You're nominated
For an Emmy. Yes.
for an Emmy.
Yes.
So
In
tell me
comedy.
in comedy.
Yes. So perfect.
Yeah. So tell me all about that.
I don't know, it's kind of cool. You know, it's I don't really think about it. So when somebody mentioned it, it was kind of like, that can't be true. And we started doing a little research. It's like, wow, it is. So it's kind of cool. You know, I just kind of focus so much on my work. I don't really sometimes think about that stuff.
Yeah.
But someone turned around and said, hey, you know what, stop and take that in for a second. There's not many firsts that we have in life. And when you have something like that, it's kind of like, no matter what you do, you're always going to be the first guy. So that was kind of cool to have
Wow.
that. Yeah.
So that's for the Emmys. The Emmys are September, I
September,
believe?
yes. September
So-
18th, but we're the technical ones, so I think we're the Sunday before.
Wow. Wow.
Like
And-
the stepkids, you know.
Sure.
We don't get the adult table. We have to go to the kids' table.
I'm
and then,
still at the kids'
Yeah,
table.
exactly.
Yeah. It's because I drink too much during
Exactly.
Thanksgiving. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
So what you said you mentioned was for a comedy. What show is it?
Shameless.
Shameless. Shameless. Ooh, it's set in
it's got
Chicago, my hometown.
I know, but we shoot it here.
Yeah.
Shrek. Movie magic. We do every 6 episodes. They do a week there of exteriors.
Yeah.
So, but basically, it's all shot here
Nice.
at Warner Brothers.
Nice. So you're the stunt coordinator
Yes.
on Shameless.
Yes.
I've looked at your long list of credits. So you're a stunt coordinator, but are you also a stunt double? Do you do any stunts?
I do actually do stunts. I stunt doubled. I started out stunt doubling Esai Morales, who's a longtime friend, and do stunts. You know, basically just did Deadpool.
Whoa. Yeah. You got a lot of fans here for Deadpool.
Yeah. Which was that was kind of cool because you know it's all very secretive and.
Yeah.
When they called me, it was like, "Hey, so you want to do the animatic in Deadpool?" I go, "Yeah, let me think about it." Put down the phone, like
And you
scream,
scream.
jumped, and went, "Well, when is it? I don't know if I'm available." I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool."
Would you say animatic?
Yeah. Because what they did to actually release the movie, that animatic that was released that wasn't supposed to be released, that got the movie made, which is that whole scene of the cars. was basically what we redid. So like, you guys are gonna redo that, and I was like, yes.
That is amazing.
And then they called me and said, we're gonna do these little pickup shots. And I was like, oh, hold on a second.
This is all in Vancouver, right?
Yeah, Vancouver, and then we did a pickup shot here, where it's like, well, they want to digitally scan you, and I was like, I'm not really cool with that. What's going on here? I was like, oh, they're gonna make me into digital. Oh, they're gonna take my stuff out. No, I'm not cool with that. And they're like, no, you're gonna love it. And then went to the movie, and it's like, oh, with the opening credits, yes.
That opening credit sequence.
Yeah. So it was
For those
cool.
who haven't seen Deadpool, like that's worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah, so I was like, okay,
Really
I'm done. Drop the mic. I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's the one movie I really wanted to be a part of.
Man, yeah, you're really riding on the high. But let's talk, because you said you were first starting out, and you're doubling for, I'm sorry, that actor you mentioned.
Isa.
Yeah, so how'd you get your start in the stunt world?
I started training people. So I trained Anthony Michael Hall, Mickey Rourke for films, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, hey, why don't you start doing this? And I was like, oh, it's more money, it's kind of cool. And then I started doing it, and I was like, yeah, I really, enjoy this. And it just progressed as time goes. It's like I found something that I didn't know I was going to do in life, and I enjoy it. And it's been, as everything has a good ride, up and down.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'm like, damn it, why did they tell me about this? I hate this. And then it's like, oh, this is cool. And then you do something like Deadpool or something, you go, all right, I'm a huge comic book fan and a geek, and it was like, this is awesome. I'm sitting there going like, yes. And I'd worked with Ryan before on Blade, so it was kind of cool for us to like hang out together and like do a whole little like see how much we both kind of grown. It was kind of we were laughing. It was like, oh, we were kids when we did that. Wow, we didn't know anything.
Hey, you still had swords.
Yeah,
look at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa,
yeah, exactly.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
You kind of touched upon this a little bit. The highs and lows that you go through. I'm sure you probably got war stories, but is there any experience that you've had where you're like, man, I'm about to die on set. This is dangerous. Really dangerous.
On Zohan, I got burned. There was a little accident, and I spent.
Did he mess with the Zohan?
Yeah. Yeah.
They tell you not to.
I messed and I
got burned.
And I got burned. That's what happens. It's like. So I had a little downtime, and it's kind of.
What kind of burn are we talking about?
Pretty severe, like a 3rd-degree burns, hand, face. Was at the burn center for a few months, and just kind of it wasn't one of those experiences in life that you go, this can happen. Shit.
Wow.
But you learn from it, and we learn from the mistakes, and lucky I had a lot of cool friends and a lot of people I've worked with. And Adam, I've known Adam since New York for years, and he was awesome. It's like, damn it, the one movie you got burned on my movie. Great. I was like, it happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but life goes on.
Sometimes I go to the theaters and I get burned on these movies.
Especially
recently, they're
I hate it, man.
Blended, right?
Like,
anyway. So, wow, that's severe. I can't even make jokes about you getting burned.
You can. Everybody else did. So, the one I think that the funniest one that no one thought was funny, and I actually laughed because I have a sick sense of humor, was Anthony Michael Hall showed up to see me at the hospital, and he turned around and he did the Richard Pryor thing. He goes, "Who's this?" They had a lighter. Oh no! He goes, "Oh, it's Eddie on fire!" And I was like, "Go ahead, guys, get it out. Let's go." And everybody was like, "That's not funny," and I was just hysterical laughing.
You used to have long flowing hair.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, you opened the door.
And I was blonde.
You're blonde.
So there you go.
Oh man, blonde Latino, love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've obviously worked on film, you worked on TV. Is there a big difference when you're doing features versus television shows, or is there like a structure that's changed, or a safety requirement? Anything
No,
like
it's just time. When you do a feature film, if you do a fight on a feature film, you have rehearsal time.
Yeah.
And, let's say like the opening sequence of Deadpool, for example, did it in 2 weeks. If you're doing TV, you got a day if you're lucky.
Right.
Or 2 days.
Like a TV show will shoot in, 9 days?
Yeah, 9 to 7 days.
If it's a multicam, maybe
like a day or two. I mean, if you did something like, let's see, True Blood was an exception. That'd be like 21 days sometimes.
For one episode?
Yeah, they were nuts.
Yeah.
Because they shot everything in every angle, and they didn't want anybody to know the fans were so huge that they edited, so they didn't want you to know what you're shooting or what you're doing at any given time.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty crazy. It's like 21 days? What do you do in 21 days?
Right, yeah.
But they did it. It's an exception to the rule, but
So you say if you
We
had to
do
fight
7
this
days. We do 7 days, and then usually some pickup shots in Chicago.
Got it. You're talking about for Shameless, right?
Yeah, Shameless.
So 7 days and then some pickups for one episode.
Yeah.
And out of that, obviously there's a lot of like physical stuff
Yeah.
going on. You usually get 1 day.
Yeah, we get 1 day or half a day. A lot of stuff we do is comedic fights, so it's not.
Sure.
If you're doing an action show, like a real action show, like I'm trying to think.
Shooter.
Yeah, Shooter.
Can we talk about Shooter?
Yeah.
So Shooter is a movie that came out with Mark Wahlberg. It's now being turned into a television show. I auditioned for. Didn't get it. Thanks. Anyway,
Oh, that
starting
was
my
you?
Philip. Yeah, that was me, right? So that's a new show that's coming
Yeah.
out that has a lot of obviously action, fighting and stuff like that. So for something like that, how would that be different than Shameless?
Well, my friend Todd Bryant, he's a stunt coordinator, and what
Mm-hmm.
they do is they put a lot of fights together beforehand, so they have a little bit more rehearsal time because it's an action show.
Sure.
So usually you'll have a day of rehearsal
Mm-hmm.
and let the director see it. He'll shoot it and then kind of do a previs,
Uh-huh.
and then show it to them, and then they agree on it, and we do it. So you have a little bit more time, but still you're in TV. It's move it,
TV
move it,
moves.
move it.
Actually, something you touched upon earlier. Yeah. So TV moves. It's fast.
Yeah.
Now, but you've worked on American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Creator of that, Ryan Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Quite a personality. So tell me, there's an example where you don't really get to move when you're working.
Yeah. I mean, I just did the first episode, which was amazing. I've been dying to do it, and I hadn't had the time. But Ryan dictates what's going on, and if he's not feeling what's going on, they'll stop and wait till he writes or gets something that.
Stop what?
You got to stop shooting. Yeah, I mean, they did the first day of shooting. Then the next day, he wasn't quite sure where they were going yet. So they'll put it on the back burner, or they'll keep shooting.
They stop the entire production until he makes.
Well, they'll shoot something else. Yeah. They'll like move that scene and go. He's not feeling it. They'll move it back to later, and he'll.
So he's calling every shot.
It's amazing. It's actually not many people I think that I know have that much control or power, and it's amazing. Mm-hmm. But it shows in the work. He takes pride in what he does. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
But not everybody else can do that.
Yeah.
He's the only one I've ever seen that do that. It's like, what are they going to do tomorrow? I don't know yet.
Wow.
It's like my hero.
Yeah, that's the exception to the rule. Actually, I want to switch gears a little bit and put you more into the driver's seat. So, besides doing the stunt coordinating, the doubling, everything else, I mean, you're directing as well?
Yeah, I'm focusing, trying to do the transition to direct. A lot of times you're known as an action person, so it gets difficult to direct anything else because they're like, you just want to do action. It's like, I do that all the time. I want to kind of do drama. So I did a short film about a year and a half ago called The Test of Time, and it was a small drama about relationships in LA. Mm-hmm. And won the Canadian International Film Festival, got into Catalina, Holly Shorts, a bunch of festivals.
Nice.
And it's on Shorts Direct, I think, now, and Vimeo.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's kind of cool. It was like a little transition and just kind of exercise those demons of directing.
Yeah.
Just get it out of you. So, trying to focus on that and move forward. Got a movie I may direct now, so we're working on that.
Nice.
It's parkour based, so it'll be fun.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And the film that you just made, The Test of Time?
Yeah.
Catalina film, isn't that coming up?
Yeah, it's coming up in September. Holly Shorts is coming up in August.
My God, this is going to be a busy couple months for you. You're going to find out.
I've already been in them, so this year I'm going back.
Basking in the glory, man. You're just going to walk up and show.
This year I'm going to go back as a judge, so it'll be interesting.
Oh, cool.
Be like, so.
Ooh, look at this movie by Eddie Perez. All right.
Like, why did I win last
Why
year?
I win?
No, it's all good. It's fun.
Cool.
It's good to be a part of a creative process and see what people come up with, especially now. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff people are doing is pretty amazing.
Yeah, especially right on set.
Yeah.
So, anything else that is in the works? Anything else you'd like to just briefly mention before we close out today?
No. I mean, life's good. I mean, it's a great experience. It's a ride, and people have to realize that it's not a given. It's not a guarantee. So
right.
you just kind of got to love it, because if you don't love it, you're in the wrong place.
Right.
As you know.
As I know.
You didn't get the audition, so you know that.
I was in the Veil for American Horror Story. Can you believe that?
Yeah, really?
They went in a different direction. They cast like a fat lady instead of me.
Yeah. They could have put you in a fat suit.
They could have. Absolutely.
You still would have been a great fat lady, I think.
My buddy is actually in Blade. He's the big fat vampire. He looks like a beanbag. No, he's huge. That's my buddy.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know why I got to that tangent. Anyway, we're gonna look for you for the Emmys in September.
Yes.
Catalina Film Fest. So you're judging and your film is in?
No, my film wasn't last year.
It wasn't last year. But there's Holly Shorts coming up in August. What am I missing?
You're not missing anything.
Shameless is
Shameless,
coming
we're
back
in
for
season 7, so
season
it'll
7.
be start January on Showtime.
Wow. Okay.
So,
yeah. So
hopefully
a lot
go
of
to
works.
season 8, 9. We'll see as long as they want to go.
That's great. That's awesome.
I'll be there. It's a good family, and it's cool to hang out with everybody.
Nice, cool. Well, Eddie, thank you so much for joining us
thank
today.
you guys, man.
I really appreciate
You
it.
too.
So, that is our show for the day. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to be here 2 weeks from now at 1 o'clock with another live show. This is Phil Biedron. I don't have a good sign-off. Is there something I say that I typically say, guys? Or?
That's all right.
That's all right.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Do a little golf swing.